Let's go back. The playoffs have really taken over the sports thing. The Blue Jays are struggling a little bit. We all know what happened to the Raptors. There's a lot of other things. And I just want to digress. If we can ever play, I told you that Manny Pacquiao was not going to win against Floyd Mayweather. And now there's a lawsuit that continues to pile up for Manny and his promoters for failing to disclose that his injury before consumer purchase tickets and pay-per-view, which was $1 gazillion, a fight against Floyd Mayweather, who people wanted Manny to win. He's a crowd favorite. People like him, but both of them are what, 3-4 years over their prime, Tony?
Yeah. Well, and there's just no way they were going to postpone this fight. They've been waiting how long?
7 years.
So the first lawsuit was filed in Nevada on Tuesday by a bunch of people. But come on, I mean,
they're in trouble for that too, Frank. That's going to be a big one.
I think it's going to be big, and you know what? It's going to be. It was a terrible fight. It sucked, and I don't know if you guys watched it. It was terrible.
Yeah, I was on here Tuesday. I was very underwhelmed by it, as I think most people were.
Yeah, but you already knew how the fight was going to be. Come on.
Yeah, just dancing, exactly. Just dancing and dancing.
Yeah. I'm sure they should have put the soundtrack for Staying Live from Saturday Night Fever, because they would have been better. But here, let me tell you, I love boxing. I boxed myself till the age of 17. I love boxing. I still box. I still try to move around and stay relevant with my body. But let me tell you, the greatest fight I ever saw in my life was Hearns and the great, marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Marvin Hagler, yep.
What a fight that was.
Sure
Hagler and Hearns, that was a fight to the death.
They didn't dance, Frank.
No, they fought. They punched the shit out of each other. And I would say, I don't know if you guys saw that fight. That was one of the best fights I ever saw in my life.
There wasn't a fight that Hagler or Hearns had that wasn't a good fight. But
Hagler was probably the best pound-for-pound boxer. There were middleweights, correct?
Oh, welterweights, middleweights, yeah.
Yeah, they were the best. They were Jake LaMotta, which I'm too young to have ever seen a fight by Jake LaMotta. But I bought some footage and went on YouTube and stuff. Jake LaMotta was an animal, eh?
Yeah.
He was the raging bull.
Yeah, he was tough.
Yeah, but
I didn't see him fight, Frank. But I heard a lot about him. The greatest boxer that I ever watched was Muhammad Ali.
Oh, well, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. But welterweights and the middleweights, I just like the speed, and I like the fight. I mean, lightweights are too, and featherweights and flyweights and all that stuff. It's just, even though it's faster. But Hagler, I just loved him. And Hearns too was a brilliant, but they were evil. They beat the shit out of each other. There's rumor that they both had cracked ribs. There's rumor that they had tons of blood vessels that were broken in their arms. It's like the story about Rocky Marciano, where he fought a guy and he beat him by technical knockout, and then they rushed him to the hospital because all the blood vessels in his arms and in his neck were broken. Because he was a power puncher, right? He was not a finesse fighter, no, by any means. So I just telling you, that was a big letdown, a multi-million-dollar letdown, and it's bizarre that boxing is going to lose all credibility in every weight class to MMA.
Yeah, the credibility's been an issue with boxing for many years. I mean, that's part of the reason why this fight didn't happen. This should have happened 7 years ago. There were issues with drug testing. There were issues with Mayweather and his, criminal background and being in jail and everything else. And now all of a sudden they finally have this fight of the century. And what do you know? One of the fighters isn't honest and signs papers saying he's healthy when he knew about his shoulder injury. So this boxing cannot get over this black cloud.
A bullshit. It's a black cloud. They always bullshit. There's always bullshit.
Yeah, always bullshit. Absolutely.
Like I think the closest bit of bullshit, and I think Muhammad Ali was definitely one of the best fighters of our era. But Tyson was a great fighter. I know he's a strange dude. The other night I caught by mistake the Charlie Sheen roast where he was on the panel.
Yep.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I don't know if you guys watched it. Did you not guys watch that roast with Tyson?
No.
It's embarrassing. Watch it. But Tyson was one of the best power punchers, one of the best fighters. The fight that really sticks out to me is when he fought Frank Bruno, and Frank Bruno was about to shit a condominium complex. He was terrified.
I think most fighters sitting across from Mike Tyson were terrified.
And then he turned it into a wrestling match, like you know, everybody knows wrestling is fake. I mean, professional wrestling. When he tried to bite Holyfield's ear off, and then Tyson wasn't allowed in Toronto for about 5 years because of lobes. Nothing. Was that too early? Nothing.
So you don't think when Pacquiao gets fixed up, his rotator cuff,
it's over. It's finished.
You don't think there's no appetite for a rematch?
No, he's going to go sing karaoke from now on. He's done.
Oh yeah, they can't fight. They can't sell another one.
Not at that ticket. Right. Not at. Do you think they're going to sell the
performance of the fight and the fact that they kept back the injury? Pacquiao is done.
Who's going to spend $100 to watch this on pay-per-view? You just watched it the first time and wasted your money, right?
Hey, listen to me. When you see some of the fighters that are out there now, I'm not talking A-listers. There's some great. HBO's got some great fight nights. They're beautiful. They're real and some great athletes, right? Mano a mano, some great pugilists. But I'm telling you right now, to spend that kind of money, and Mayweather, it's not just his criminal record. I mean, he's been guilty of some sucker punches. You know, he's not 100%. Am I right or am I wrong?
He's not a role model, that's for sure.
No, but he's not. And Pacquiao, he wants to sing. You know, they love him in Manila. So let him, you know, do what he's got to do. They love him. He's been very good to this country. I think he's a cool guy. I'm a big fan of his. But it's time for him to try his singing career. You know, he did a lot of things with Stan Hill. They're good friends. He's past his prime. He reminds me, maybe Billy, you can remember, when I was a kid, was Nino Benvenuti. Remember Nino Benvenuti?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what Pacquiao reminds me of. You know, very nice man, very kind, very well received by his fans, right? Especially his country.
Yeah, fight a lick.
But Manzone beat the shit out of him, and so did Cliff. And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Overdue for a slaughter.
Yeah.
That's why he likes fighting Mayweather. Mayweather will dance with him.
Yeah, you know what? You hit the nail on the head, and it looked like a contrived fight, and that's why there's lawsuits.